من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون، الذي لا يدركه بعد الهمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن، الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت معدود ولا أجل ممدود، فطر الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته وودد بالصخور ميدان أرضه، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه ونور عرشه، أفضل الأنبياء والمرسلين، حبيب إله العالمين أبا القاسم محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد وهو أصدق القائلين: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. صلوات. I had indicated that I am going to connect the subject matter of tonight's majlis with the subject matter of the majlis that I recited in front of you on the shahadat of Imam Ali al-Naqi salawatullah wa salamullahi alayh. Which I'm doing, but I won't be able to dwell on it in detail because I have to do justice to the occasion as well. And of course, this is a great occasion not only for us, it is a great occasion for the entire household and the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Therefore, let me take your leave that on my behalf and on behalf of you who are listening to the majlis, who are present here and who are not able to come tonight, I'm presenting my felicitations and the best of wishes and congratulations to our Imam Sahib al-Asr Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. And to all mu'mineen and mu'minat for the birth of the adornment of worshippers, Zainul Abidin and Sayyidus Sajidin, and the leader of those who prostrate in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fazail of Janab Imam Zainul Abidin have no end. Indeed, some of the inheritances or the heritage that he has left by way of ilm, by way of knowledge, by way of wisdom, if you think and ponder about it, only day before yesterday when I was reciting in Birmingham, somebody told me that his son has done a PhD, a doctorate on Sahifa Kamila. I was so pleased to hear this. It is high time that the ulum of Ahlul Bayt, the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt, the wisdom of Ahlul Bayt is exposed in front of the people, in front of the people of the world, Muslims and non-Muslims. Non-Muslims also have to know what sort of heritage of knowledge and wisdom we have inherited. We are so lucky that out of all the nations of the world, we have been chosen. The followers of Ahlul Bayt have been chosen to have Nahjul Balagha with them, to have Sahifa Sajjadiyya with them, to have Sahifa Alawiyya with them, to have Sahifa Ridawiyya with them, and all these books of knowledge. When are we going to? We haven't been able to scratch the surface. Coming to the matter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, that ask the people of remembrance if you do not know. This ayat, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, appears 2 times in the Quran. Ayat number 7 of Surah Anbiya, ayat number 43 of Surah Nahl. Now when I referred to the tafsir, a modern tafsir, written by Ayatullah al-Udma, Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Mudarrisi, may Allah keep him and give him long life. His tafsir is called Min Hudal Quran, from the Hidayat or from the guidance of the Quran. It's a very brief tafsir. Saying very brief means 10 volume. 10 volume. It's very brief. Because Sayyid Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai's tafsir is 21 volumes. Now here, Sayyid Mudarrisi, when he is discussing these 2 ayats, in the ayat number 7 of Surah Anbiya, he briefly explains, but in ayat number 43, when he comes across the same ayat of Surah Nahl, he says with frankness, with clarity, and specifically, explicitly, he uses these terms that if we do not have knowledge about something, the logic and the rational thinking dictates us that we should refer to the people who know better. Our whole mazhab is based on the fact that the non-experts have to follow the experts. Those who are specialists in that knowledge, they have to be followed. Now, if, for example, if you are applying to do medicine in the university, if somebody tells you, UCL tells you that there is no need to apply to go to the university, everything is abundantly available in the libraries and on the internet and everywhere, and just log in and just with a few clicks of the buttons, you can get explanation of every terminology that has been used in the world of medicine, isn't it? It's true, it's true. The books are there, abundantly available, the libraries are full, but the question arises, is this a reasonable approach? Is this a logical approach? I would say that if somebody has an audacity of telling you that don't go to the university or don't go to the college and don't study and this thing, whenever you come across any difficulty, just refer to the books. The books are all available and they are for you. You would say that he is a lunatic. Because you need somebody to guide you physically. You need somebody to stand on your head and to guide you and to explain to you things and to experiment in front of you and to make you experiment in order to translate the theory into practice, isn't it? Now when it comes to religion, just I'll give you an example and think very deeply about it. There are books being written, there are websites, there are so many groups that are there, and they are determined. Now, I do not know who has got the reign of power, who is dictating them with remote control, that I don't know. I don't want to assume things. But imagine people who have spent their entire lifetime specializing in certain knowledge, and that knowledge, when we would do istinbat, that means if you are to extract the law from its correct sources, and the law from its correct sources comes from what? From the Quran, from the Sunnah of the Prophet. From the Sunnah of the Prophet. Where is the Sunnah of the Prophet? Our Imam, who is to guide us towards the correct interpretation of the Quran and to the correct interpretation of the Sunnah of the Prophet, is in ghaibat. In ghaibat. Therefore, in the period of ghaibat, and that's why you see, as opposed to our Sunni brothers and the Sunni schools of thoughts, their 6 authentic books they supposedly carry the ahadith of the Prophet, but they also incorporate, although people are not being told about this, but I'm telling you, because I can prove it. they also incorporate the practices, the wordings, the sayings, and the traditions of Sahaba, of the companions of the Prophet. It's not purely what Rasulullah has said. No, it's Rasulullah, what Rasulullah has said and what his companions have said. And sometimes what the companions of the companions have said. But with us, our 4 authentic books incorporate a hadith of all the Ma'sumin. That's why when Rasulullah left this earth on the 11th of Hijri, our source of interpreting the religion, explaining the religion, did not end with the death of the Prophet. No, it continued until 255 Hijri. Until 255 Hijri. Therefore, our books carry so many ahadith. Let me give you one example, that our Usul Kafi, which consists of Usul and Furu'. Usul Kafi and Furu' Kafi. It has got over 20,000 ahadith of the Ma'sumin alayhi salam. Now keep one book, Al-Kafi, on one side, and keep all the 6 authentic books of the Sunnis on the other side. Our Al-Kafi only carries more ahadith than all the 6 Sunni books combined together. Now you tell me with all honesty, how many of us have read the books, these books and these ahadith? Never mind about understanding, never mind about explaining to others, never mind about translating them in action. How many of us have taken the care of only reading? How many of us are likely to read in their own lifetime? I can't see my sons completely reading the 4 authentic books of the Shias. But this is our inheritance. Somebody has to start and somebody has to dwell on it, and then only we can claim that now we know something. Here Quran specifically guides us, and guides us not only for one period of time, but guides us for all periods of time until the day of resurrection. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of the remembrance. Ask those who have knowledge. Ask those who have got understanding. Ask those who have worked hard for gaining that knowledge if you do not know. Now the problem with us is this. The people who do not know are in the forefronts of interpreting the religion. This is the problem. This is the problem. That's why Imam Muhammad Taqi salawatullah wa salamullahi alayhi says that all this division and fitna and fasad can end immediately only if the jahil keeps his tongue inside his mouth. But the problem of the communities is this: the jahil is the one who speaks, and he is so vocal in speaking, whether he knows or not, whether he understands or not. And this thing, it's very easy to tell people that if you get stuck somewhere, then just refer to the books. There is no need to follow anybody, but go for Hajj, where you have got limited time, limited days, limited period, limited specific places in which certain a'mal have to be performed. And then if you get stuck, if after completing this tawaf in that rush, then after completing the tawaf at Hajar al-Aswad, then you start thinking, have I done 5 or have I done 6 or have I done 7? And at that time you need somebody's guidance to tell you what to do. Then you will spend the rest of the Hajj pondering over what you have done, whether it is 5 or 6 or 7. And this applies to the prayers. This applies to every furu'adin, every furu'adin. Usuluddin is different. If you do not believe in usuluddin, then your iman, your Islam is not complete. There is no taqleed, there is no following anybody in usuluddin. But in furu'adin, yes, if you want to pray, if you want to fast, if you want to do hajj, if you want to pay zakat, if you want to pay khums, etc., then you need guidance at every step, because the time is not going to wait for you, my friends. The time is not going to wait for you. The time is a deciding factor, and that's why we need somebody who has got knowledge to follow. Now here, I didn't mention in the majlis of Shahadat of Imam Ali al-Naqi, but now I mention, and now I'm correcting it for tonight's topic. Imam Ali al-Naqi salawatullah wa salamullah alayhi, when he used to hear that there are some ulama, that there are some zakireen, he used to invite them. When they used to come in his bosom, in his majlis, he used to stand up from his place in order to receive them. This was the izzat of the ulama in the eyes of the Masoom A'imma. Imam Zainul Abidin salawatullah wa salamullah alayhi used to pray that, oh Allah, do not deprive me of the company of ulama. A Masoom Imam is praying, do not deprive me from the company of the ulama. And in this way, it is said that when Imam Zainul Abidin, you know how many Hajj he has done? 20 Hajj, walking. When he used to do Hajj and people used to hear about it, people from all over the Medina and whoever heard it from outside Medina used to rush and used to make upon themselves incumbent to visit the holy place so that they, in the company of Imam Zainul Abidin, they can gain something. Because the history says, and Ahl Ilm say, they testify that he was the a'lam of his time. There was nobody more knowledgeable than him in his time. He was 22 in Karbala. He was 22 in Karbala. Ali Akbar was elder than him. He was Awsat. He was Aliun al-Awsat, the middle Ali. And then you have got, of course, Ali Asghar, who is also called Abdullah al-Radi'. But they say that Abdullah al-Radi' and Ali Asghar were two different personalities. But never mind, we don't want to go into it. Now, Imam Zainul Abidin, then after Karbala, lived how many years? 35 years. He died at the age of 57. 57, it is exactly the same age at which Imam Hussein got martyred. But these 35 years, although we keep on hearing on the member that he used to cry and remember, of course, he will remember. How can you possibly forget that great tragedy of Karbala? You can't. He will remember. But at the same time, his revolution of reforming the society, of bringing back Ummat Muhammad up to the right path, was not insignificant. It was very much significant. And his Sahifa Kamila, Sahifa Sajjadiya, actually it is Sahifa Kamila, because Sahifa Sajjadiya, the amalgamation or the gathering of the du'as of Imam Sajjad, started by the Zaydis, not the Isnasharis, by the Zaydi Shias. They started the attempt. They compiled something, then Allama Majlisi compiled something and he added certain du'as, and then Arhul al-Amili compiled something and he added certain du'as, then Al-Amini compiled something and he added certain du'as which were not there, and in this, the majmu'ah of all these 5 attempts became a Sahifa al-Kamila. A Sahifa al-Kamila. Now, you know the significance of Sahifa al-Kamila. I mean, on the Shabaha al-Qadr, we recited du'as, du'a makarim akhlaq, du'a tawbah from Sahifa al-Kamila. Our amal are based on it. If we are sick, we refer to Sahifa al-Kamila to find out what are the du'as for the recovery of the sick people. Imam has taught the children how to pray or how to do dua for their parents, and he has taught the parents how to do dua for the guidance of their children. Imam has taught that at any natural happening or any natural calamity, there are certain duas to be recited. Imam has taught that what are the best gifts you can give to your neighbors, to the poor, to the destitute, to the orphans, and all to those people who are needy in the community, in the nation. And in this way, a social fabric has been amalgamated into Sahifa Sajjadiyah. And if you study Sahifa Sajjadiyah, it incorporates the solution of every calamity, every problem that we are likely to face in this world. And also in the hereafter, because the du'as also lead us towards the hereafter. That what are we going to need for our salvation, our bliss, our pleasure in this world and the hereafter, our success in this life and in the hereafter. So from this you can imagine the importance of Sahifa Sajjadiyah. Of course, now the Sahifa Sajjadiyah has been translated into several languages of the world. And this is a ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us. But what I'm saying is this, that this is one of the second contribution of Imam Sajjad is Risalat al-Huquq. Risalat al-Huquq, the rights that Imam Sajjad have mentioned, not only the rights that we have on others and others have on us, even the rights that each and every part of our body has on us. Has the United Nations Charter of Human Rights got anything similar? Has international law got anything similar? No. They are not concerned about your spirituality. They are not concerned about the ibadat. They are not concerned of how you are using your eyes, how you are using your tongue, how you are using your hands, how you are using your legs, how you are using your thinking power. This is all beyond their perception and understanding. But Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wasalam is giving us guidance in every single matter with which we are attached, which are incorporated and ingrained and cultivated inside us. Inside us. First of all, recognize the rights that each and every part of your body has got over you. Then you are going to recognize the right that the members of the society have upon you, and what are your duties towards them, and what are your responsibilities towards them, and what is the relationship between the husband and the wife, and what is the relationship between the children and the parents, and all these things. So imagine, how does this explanation and interpretation reach us? By reading books, by finding out from the library, or we need some guidance, and the guidance that come to us. You see, Imam Sajjad, look at the way the guidance comes to us. In one of the Hajj that Imam Sajjad is going, and I just said that he has gone 20 times. Of course, 20 times all the Hajj were not wajib, only one Hajj was wajib. When people heard about it, it is said that 1,000 riders, among them the reciters of the Quran, the mufassirin of the Quran, the muhaddithin, and the people of knowledge, they accompanied 1,000 riders. They accompanied Imam Sajjad and came with him in that particular Hajj. It is also written in the riwayat that none of them budged from Mecca until Imam Sajjad first left, because they didn't want to lose a single moment, whereby the company of Imam Sajjad was a ni'mat for them. This is an opportunity that will not be repeated again in their life. So they wanted to take advantage of every single moment in their life in order to gain something. And it is said that people gained about the ahkam of Hajj, about the ahkam of Shariat, about the interpretation of the Quran, about what ahadith are. That's why you see, when we have the collection in Al-Kafi equivalent to 20,000 ahadith, more than all the 6 books, authentic books of Ahl Sunnah combined together, our Imams have worked for it. Our Imams have worked hard for it, and they have worked day and night so that the correct knowledge reaches us. This is the fact, and you have to appreciate. Now it so happened that Imam Zain al-Abidin salawatullah wa salamullahi alayhi came for the Tawaf-e-Khana-e-Kaaba. There was Hajj. It was Hajj. People were full there. He performed the tawaf of Khana Kaaba. As you know, at the spot of Hajar al-Aswad, people are normally hypertension. There's hypertension, the kadumi. And this was happening. But as soon as Imam Sajjad approached, came nearer to Hajar al-Aswad, all the Muslims who were doing tawaf and who were there at that space gave him way. They divided themselves into sufuf. Safo mein bat gaye. Imam Sajjad came to the Hajar al-Aswad and he kissed the Hajar al-Aswad. And this scene, it so happened that in that Hajj, Hisham bin Abdul Malik was there. He was also performing Hajj. Now Hisham Abdul Malik, when the king goes for Hajj, first of all, so many announcements are done and so many arrangements are done and people are gathered together. Some people are specialists whose job is only throughout the journey to praise the king and all this thing. And the king also, the king of Banu Umayyah. So what do you think? What arrangements would have been done? Now, before Imam Sajjad entered the mosque, entered the Masjid al-Haram, already Hisham bin Abdul Malik had tried to kiss Hajar al-Aswad. Nobody bothered to give him any lift. They ignored him. His courtiers thought that this is a serious thing. If the Shamis who have come with him, with the entourage of the king, with the entourage of the caliph, if they come to know that this is the weight or this is the respect that the king enjoys in the eyes of the Muslims, that will be a terrible experience. So what they did, instead of bringing him a chair to rest until the rush subsides, they brought him a member. Told him to rest on the member. So he went on the member and he rested. He started taking rest. Imam Sajjad, now this scene, can you imagine? This scene is in front of the courtiers of Hisham bin Abdul Malik, and Hisham Abdul Malik is also looking at it. Then somebody thought that why not try to divert the attention of the courtiers and the Shamis towards Hisham, so that they do not go and try to find out something about Imam Zainul Abidin. So they told the poet, the court poet, that you have to say something so that people's attention is drawn towards the caliph. He said, now what can you recite in the fazilat of Hisham bin Abdul Malik? Or in the fazilat of his father or his grandfather? Can you imagine? I mean, he ran out of words. Poor fellow was put in the awkward situation. What would he say? So he said that the sun in the earth has got an eye similar to the crossed eye. Now it so happened that Hisham Abdul Malik was crossed eye person. Whenever he used to become angry, his eyes used to cross each other. This was his sign. Now this was the title of Hisham Abdul Malik, Hisham bin Abdul Malik. And this poor went to praise him and ended up displeasing him. So Jahiz was there. Jahiz is one of the ulama of our brothers. And he said, oh, this is very insulting, and this is ignorance, and this is not right. You have insulted the caliph. So they said, oh, Lord, take him away. So they dragged him away from there. Now, Farazdaq happened to be there. Farazdaq, a poet, Arab poet. And when Hisham was told, after the people gave way to Imam Zainul Abidin to come with ease to the Hajar al-Aswad and to kiss Hajar al-Aswad and this thing, and people started querying that these people did not give way to the caliph. And who is this person? So the Shamis started asking each other, who is this person? Who is this person? And they came to Hisham and said, who is this person? He became angry. How am I supposed to know? He said, I don't know. He knew. He knew, and his father also knew. He said, I do not know. Farazdaq said, oh, you do not know. But I know. Let me give you introduction of who he is. And Farazdak said announced there, said, whoever wants to know about this man, to whom the Muslims have shown so much respect and reverence, come here. Now the Shamis started leaving Hisham and going towards Farazdak. And this poor person on the minbar, he was left without companions. The Shamis rushed there. So the Shamis gathered around Farazdak, and Farazdak started his poetry. هذا الذي تعرفه البطحاء وطأته هذا الذي تعرف البطحاء وطأته البيت يعرفه والحل والحرم. This is the one whose walking style is recognized by the land of Makkah. ये वो है जिसके कदमों की आहट मक्का की सरजमीन पहचानती है. अल-बैतु यअरिफुहु वल-हिल्लु वल-हरमु, ये खाना काबा इसे पहचानता है, हिल और हरम इसको पहचानते हैं. यानी जो हरम की सरजमीन है वो भी पहचानती है, और हरम से बाहर जो सरजमीन है वो भी इसको पहचानती है. هذا ابن خير عباد الله كلهم هذا التقي النقي الطاهر العلم. ये सारे खुदा के जितने बंदे हैं खलाइक में सबसे अफजल तरीन ये है हमारे ज़माने में. हादा इब्नु उसका बेटा है कि जो सबसे अफजल तरीन है खलाइक में, यानी रसूलुल्लाह की तरफ इशारा है. हादा इब्नु खैर खल्क़िल्लाहि इबादिहिम खैर खल्क़िल्लाहि खैर इबादिल्लाहि कुल्लिहिम हादा तक़िय्युन नक़िय्युत ताहिरुल अलमु. ये पाक है, ये पाकीज़ा है, ये ताहिर है, ये मुतहर है, ये परहेज़गार है. हादा तक़िय्यु अन्नक़िय्यु, पाक और पाकीज़ा. ताहिरुल अलमु, ये आलिम है, ये आलिम है. उसके बाद and then Imam Zainul Abidin, now he is the pure, purified, he is a taqi, he is a naqi, he is a pure, he is a tahir and mutahhar, and he is a'lam. And then Farazdak started giving further introduction. هذا الذي ابن أحمد المختار والده. هذا الذي أحمد المختار والده أمست بنور هداه تهتدي الأمم. He is the one whose father is Ahmad Mukhtar Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And through the nur of his hidayah, through the nur of his guidance, all the nations of the world have been guided to the right path. هذا ابن فاطمة إن كنت جاهله فبجده أنبياء الله قد ختموا. He is the son of Fatima Zahra. If you are ignorant about it, or you are pretending not to know, then know this thing, that on his grandfather, all the prophets of God, all the apostles of God, a seal was set on them through his grandfather. هذا ابن فاطمة هذا ابن خيرة النسوان فاطمة هذا ابن خيرة النسوان فاطمة وابن البصي حبه قسم. He is the best of the women, Fatima Zahra. He is the son of the Wasi, Ali Murtaza, whose love is going to be a deciding factor of who goes to heaven and who ends up in hell. إذا رأيته قريش قال قائلها فبإكرامه تنتهي الكرم. When the Quraysh see him, فَبِمَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ تَنْتَهِي الْكَرَمُ. Then when Quraysh see him, they come to a conclusion that somebody announces from them that on his generosity and on his benevolence and on his magnanimity, all the generosities and magnanimity ends. إذا رأته قريش قال قائلها فبمكارم هذا تنتهي الكرم. And then he said, and this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Then he said, ما قال لا إلا في تشهده لولا التشهد كان لاؤه نعم. He has never ever said no. He has never ever said la except in tashahhud. La ilaha illallah, except in tashahhud. Had la not been in the tashahhud, he would have never said la, and his la would have been yes. Qala lahu na'amu. Look at the karam. Look at the generosity and sakhawat. There is no end to the sakhawat of the Imam. That the poet then goes further. Of course, it's a very big qasida, and this qasida, even we used to teach the students in the Hausa, and it is taught in the university. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Many books have been written on it. There are explanations on it. There are on YouTubes. This qasida has been read in proper tune and everything. What I mean to say is this: that now the Farazdaq wanted to draw the attention of those people who were listening. Now imagine, this is the rush of Hajj. This is a rush of Hajj, whereby the message has to be passed to as many people as possible, so that when they return back home, they also convey the message to others. You see, this is the style of ilm and ta'allum and dispensing with knowledge and conveying knowledge, which Imams alayhi salam have trained their followers to do. Who are the followers? The followers are those that Rasulullah says that ulama ummati min anbiya afdal min anbiya Bani Israel. The ulama of my community, of my nation, are better than the anbiya of the prophets of Bani Israel. These are the ulamas. These are the ulama who convey the trust, the message that has been entrusted to them, and they've conveyed it with full amanat. In this way, Imam alayhi salam used to show them respect also. Imam Zain al-Abidin used to show them respect, used to train them. Now look, coming to the Urdu section, I would draw attention of what was the style of A'imma Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu salam of raising and cultivating knowledge in their followers. Knowledge in their followers. Now imagine, whenever it comes to, nowadays when we mention ulama, and when we mention following the ulama, there are people who, unfortunately, who suffer from ulama phobia. They suffer from ulama phobia, and they convey their phobia to others as well, which is not fair to others, because they take undue advantage of their unawareness. If they were aware, if the proper knowledge has been conveyed to them, this situation would not arise. That has arisen. Unfortunately, it has arisen in our time. And it's very sad that we have to see and we have to meet this situation. Now here, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam क्या करते थे इमाम कि जब भी मौका मिलता था तो गुलाम खरीदते थे, और इतने गुलाम खरीदे और इस तरह की ट्रेनिंग दी, इस तरह इल्म कि उनका एक एक गुलाम आलिम था, अपनी जगह आलिम था। और फिर गुलामों का काम यह था कि रात को जाकर मदीने की गलियों में घरों को ठोक कर वहां पर अहले बैत का इल्म पहुंचाते थे, अहले बैत की हदीसें बयान करते थे। और कुरान, अगर किसी को कुरान नहीं आता था तो कुरान पढ़ना सिखाते थे। ये गुलाम थे इमाम ज़ैन-उल-आबिदीन के, और जब उनकी ट्रेनिंग खत्म होती थी फिर उनको आज़ाद कर देते थे। یہاں تک کہ اتنے غلام ہو گئے. ایک مرتبہ ایک شخص نے دیکھا, ایک شخص آیا کہ جس نے دیکھا کہ قحط کا زمانہ ہے, بارش نہیں پڑ رہی ہے, ڈکاڑ ہے جسے کہتے ہیں, فیمین ہے, بارش نہیں پڑ رہی ہے. امام زین العابدین علیہ السلام نے اپنے غلاموں کو جمع کیا اور کہا دیکھو ہم لوگ ساتھ مل کر دعا کریں گے, جماعتاً دعا کریں گے اور انشاءاللہ بارش ہوگی. سبھی نے مل کر دعا کی, بہت دیر تک دعا کی. اس کے بعد جو تھک جاتا تھا وہ چلا جاتا تھا, لیکن ایک غلام رہ گیا. اب جب وہ ایک غلام رہ گیا, امام نے دیکھا کہ اس نے اتنا گڑ گڑا کر, رو کر, گریا کر اس نے دعا کی کہ دیکھتے ہی دیکھتے بادل آ گئے اور بارش برسنے لگی. لیکن یہ امام کا صحابی دیکھ رہا تھا, یہ ماجرا دیکھ رہا تھا. جب بارش آ گئی اور لوگ سیراب ہوئے, اس کے بعد امام کی خدمت گرامی میں آیا اور امام سے کہنے لگا, یا امام میں آپ کا ایک غلام خریدنا چاہتا ہوں. کہا خریدنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے, تم مجھے کہہ دو کون سا غلام چاہیے میں دے دیتا ہوں. کہا مجھے ایک ہی غلام چاہیے, لیکن یہ یہاں ان غلاموں میں نظر نہیں آتا. کہا باہر ہوگا. باہر گئے, وہ نظر آیا. کہا یہ چاہیے مجھے. امام نے اس کو بلایا. امام نے کہا کہ یہ بندہ مومن ہے, وہ تمہیں لینا چاہتا ہے, تو تم جاؤ, میں نے تمہیں آزاد کیا, تم اس کے ساتھ جاؤ. اس نے ایک سوال کیا امام زین العابدین سے, یا امام مجھے یہ بتلائیے کہ کیوں آپ کی رفاقت مجھ سے چھوٹ رہی ہے. کہا اس لیے کہ اس آدمی نے دیکھا کہ تم کتنے پرہیزگار بندے ہو, کتنے نمازی ہو, اور کتنی تاثیر ہے, کتنی قبولیت ہے تمہاری دعا میں, لہٰذا وہ تمہیں لینا چاہتا ہے. شاید وہاں پر جا کر لوگوں کی ہدایت ہو. اب منع تو نہیں کر سکتا تھا امام کو, وہ جانے لگا اس صحابی کے ساتھ. لیکن جاتے جاتے اس نے ایک دعا کی. کہا بار الہ, میرے اور تیرے بیچ ایک جو راز تھا کہ میری دعا کس طرح قبول ہوتی تھی, وہ راز اب ختم ہو گیا. جو میرے تمہارے بیچ جو راز تھا وہ ختم ہو گیا. اب میں نہیں جینا چاہتا ہوں. امام کا گھر چھوڑتے اس نے یہ دعا کی کہ میں اب نہیں جینا چاہتا ہوں. اسی وقت وہ گرا اور مر گیا. تو یہ ہے تاثیر امام کی تربیت میں. دیکھیں کہ یہی تاثیر. اس طرح کے شیعہ چاہتے ہیں, ہمارے امام اس طرح کے شیعہ بنانا چاہتے ہیں, اس طرح کے شیعہ کہ جو مطیع ہوں, اوامر مولا پر مطیع ہوں, اور سمجھتے ہوں کہ ان کی اتھارٹی کیا ہے, اور سمجھتے ہوں کہ جو کہہ رہے ہیں, کر رہے ہیں, اللہ کے حکم کے متواتر ہے, اللہ کے حکم سے الگ ہو کر کچھ نہیں کہہ رہے ہیں. یہ امام کہ جس کی ماں کی رحلت آپ کو جنم دے کے ہی ہو گئی, یہ زجر کی بیٹی نوشروان عادل کی پوتی. اور یہاں پر رسول خدا فخر کیا کرتے تھے کہ میں ایسے زمانے میں پیدا ہوا کہ جہاں پر نوشروان عادل بادشاہ حکم کرتا تھا. تو جو پرنسس تھی, جو آئی ہوئی تھی, وہ اپنا ٹائٹل لے کر آئے تھے, اس کا نام تھا شاہزنان. شاہزنان کا مطلب ہے سیدت النسوان. امیر المومنین نے کہا نہیں, سیدت النسوان اولین اور آخرین میں ایک ہی ہے, وہ ہے فاطمہ الزہرا صلوات اللہ وسلام اللہ علیہا. لہذا اس کا نام امیر المؤمنین نے شہربانو رکھا. شہربانو کی رحلت ہو گئی. اب امام زین العابدین کو سوتیل امام, یا وہ لوگ کہ جن کو دائی جسے کہتے ہیں, جن کو امام زین العابدین کو دودھ پلایا, اس نے پالا پوسا. لیکن مروت دیکھیں آپ, مروت دیکھیں اس امام کی کہ کتنا احترام تھا ایک سوتیلی ماں کے لیے, کہ کبھی بھی سوتیلی ماں کے ساتھ ایک دسترخوان پر بیٹھ کر کھانا نہیں کھایا. جب آپ کو پوچھا گیا یا ابن رسول اللہ, کیوں آپ اپنی ماں کے ساتھ جس نے آپ کی پرورش کی ہے, آپ کو محبت دی ہے, ماں کی محبت دی ہے, آپ بیٹھ کر کھانا نہیں کھاتے؟ کہا اس لیے کہ مجھے اس بات کی فکر ہو رہی ہے کہاں پر میرا ہاتھ کہیں میرا ہاتھ اس نوالے کی طرف نہ بڑھے کہ جس نوالے پر میری ماں کی نظر پڑ چکی ہے. احترام ماں کا دیکھیں، سوتیلی ماں کا جس نے پرورش کی ہے، جنم نہیں پرورش کی ہے، اتنا ہے کہ کہیں میرا ہاتھ اس لقمے کی طرف نہ بڑھے کہ جو لقمہ میری ماں کی نظر میں آیا ہے. یہ کہ جبکہ بس ایک باقی 2 منٹ ہے اور میں ختم کر رہا ہوں کہ جہاں پر امام زین العابدین نے کہا کہ دیکھو اگر دوسروں کو اپنا مطیع کرانا چاہتے ہو تو پہلے اپنی زبان کو اپنا مطیع بناؤ. پہلے زبان پر کنٹرول رکھو، پھر دوسرے پر کنٹرول رکھ سکو گے. اور زبان پر کنٹرول نہیں ہے، کبھی بھی کسی پر کنٹرول نہیں کر سکو گے. تمام مسلمانوں کو اپنا بھائی سمجھو، نہ کسی کی بدگوئی کرو، نہ کسی سے بدگمان ہو، نہ ان کی غیبت کرو، نہ ان پر ظلم کرو. یہ ہے حق ایک مسلمان کا دوسرے مسلمان پر. آپ اب ذرا فیصلہ کیجئے کہ ہم سے زیادہ مسلمانوں کو اتحاد بین المسلمین کی طرف دعوت دینے والا کون ہو سکتا ہے؟ کہ جہاں پر سب مساوات، کہ جہاں پر امام زین العابدین کہہ رہے ہیں کہ تمام بچوں کو اپنا بیٹا سمجھو، اور اپنا جو ہم عمر ہے اس کو اپنا بھائی سمجھو، اور بڑوں کو اپنا باپ سمجھو، اور نہ کسی کی غیبت کرو، نہ کسی سے بدسلوکی کرو، نہ کسی پر ظلم کرو، نہ کسی سے جھوٹ بولو. اور یہ ہے حق ایک مسلمان کا دوسرے مسلمان پر. صلوات محمد. بارگاہ الہی میں دعا گو ہیں کہ خداوند کریم بحق بیمار کربلا امام زین العابدین علیہ السلام آپ تمام حاضرین کی دلی خواہشوں کو قبول فرمائے. ہم جو اس ماحول میں یہاں پر رہ رہے ہیں ان کو ہمارے بچے جو اس ماحول میں پل رہے ہیں، ہمارے نوجوان جو اس ماحول میں پل رہے ہیں، ان کو بحق امام زین العابدین اپنے حفظ میں رکھے. خداوند کریم آپ کو حج و زیارت نصیب کرے. خداوند کریم آپ کو تمام کامیابی و خوشحالی میسر کرے. خداوند کریم ہمارے بچوں کو ہدایت یافتہ بنائے. خداوند کریم بحق امام زین العابدین جو ہم میں بیمار ہیں ان کو شفاء کاملہ اور صحت کاملہ عطا کرے. خداوند کریم جو ہم میں سے مر گئے ہیں اور مرحوم ہو چکے ہیں ان کو جوار رحمت میں جگہ دے. خداوند کریم ہمیں حضرت حجت عجل اللہ تعالی فرجہ الشریف کے انصاروں میں شامل کرے. صلوات علیہ.